You are alive?
So can we also check in YouTube what is happening?
Yeah.
Can you just share that link, the YouTube link, on this chat so that I will also open it on YouTube and see?
Yeah. Just a minute. I'm trying to share the link with you.
I'm seeing it on my mobile. Don't worry.
Not yet. Nobody's there. Nobody's here yet.
Yes, yes, yes. What were our friends saying in Portuguese?
So, sorry?
I said, what were our friends saying in Portuguese?
Sorry?
I said, what were our friends saying in Portuguese?
No. Let me put in mute here. What did you say? What the people have said about the event?
Yeah.
They like it very much, the possibility of partnership between IFIA and the environment, the ecosystem
Mhm.
of Iguaçu Valley with India, startups, India ecosystem, because they praised a lot India regarding the potentialities. So I don't know what you can do, if you wait more, if you can start the presentation just to be recorded, and then you can share to the people. I think the best way. Okay?
Yeah, yeah. I think we should start.
Okay, you can. So let's start it. After we can edit the video. So it's you are the host. You can start.
Good morning to everybody in Brazil and good evening to all the viewers here in India. Welcome to the first program of connecting India with Brazil using the IFIA network and the IFIA global connection system. So, this program is currently the first pilot project that we are going to launch in association with IFIA-ABIPIR, the Brazilian chapter, IFIA Bharat, the Indian chapter, Founder Institute Brazil, Paripacto, Iguazu Valley, and Iguazu Angels from Brazil. So the idea is basically to connect to the world startup ecosystem and create successful, innovative, and impactful and profitable business for startups in India and Brazil. So the idea is basically to support both these countries' ecosystem in a way where both these people can get the maximum benefit out of this. So, as far as this program is concerned, a quick introduction about the partners. IFIA as a global body which works on supporting inventions and innovations in about 120 plus countries. ABIPIR is the Brazilian partner of IFIA, and Mr. Dr. Marcelo, who is part of this program, heads the ABIPIR and IFIA in Latin America as its president. And I am Anand Kannan. I represent IFIA in India, where we are known as IFIA-Bharat. So the idea here is to connect and bring in an acceleration program which will support innovators, startups, investors, the funding community, and create new products which can be utilized by both India, Brazil, and a product which can be sent to the worldwide market. So that's the whole idea. The first phase of this project is going to have selected 10 Brazilian startups and 10 Indian startups whose ideas will be validated. And then, based on the success of how this pilot project goes, we will be going forward with more ideas into this. More startups will be invited to be participating in this program. So, as I said, we have support from IFIA, the worldwide organization, ABIPIR, the Brazilian organization, IFIA Bharat, and the support from the Brazilian institutional people, the Iguazu Valley, the Iguazu Angels, Founder Institute, Paripacto, and in India, we have supports from Incubator from Odisha, Atal Incubation Center, AICSKU from Anandpur, and the Bangalore Bio Innovation Center. How can startups start participating in this event? First is, at the end of this show, this presentation, you will find there will be a link and a QR code which startups can scan or fill the form and send it to us. That is for the startups. And there is also a QR code and a link for the mentors who would like to be part of this program. Startups which are going to be part of this program will have certain criteria which will be shared in the subsequent slides, which they can go through. And once they feel that these programs, the criteria is fulfilled, the selection committee will announce the startups who are going to be part of this program. So there will be a total of 10 startups from India and 10 startups from Brazil. So once these startups are selected, they will be provided some mentorship. They will be connected to the funding community. They will also be offered collaboration partnerships. They will also be offered opportunities to work on with new people in Brazilian market or for soft landing and to explore those markets. So basic criteria that we have kept for the startups who will be part of this program. One is we are looking up at startups which should have a MVP or a stage above MVP so that this program can be beneficial for them. Second is the model or the startups idea has to be a scalable model. Third is what will be the team skills, what is their ability and what is their experience. It will be judged on this program. The fourth will be the intellectual property protection. If they have got an IP which is being created and it is patented, it will be more advantageous. Fifth would be aligning with the SDG goals and the UN sustainable goals, which is something which we will be more interested and will be welcoming the partner, the startups to work upon. And as the first stage of this project, we are going to start with digital solutions which will be easy to promote and be easy for collaboration and easy for commercialization purpose. So the first phase of the product of the project may not have products by itself, but in case of exceptional products or exceptional ideas, we will consider those ideas which can be commercialized in the Brazilian market or partnerships can be explored. But prima facie, we are going to look up at solutions which are digital in nature so that it becomes easy, and it could be from any domain. It could be from deep tech, it could be from health tech, med tech. So the solutions will be something which will be making it easier for us to take the product or the ideas for the program and to move it forward. So, what are the phases of this journey? The phase one today is the launch of the project. So, with this launch of this project, you will have 10 days to apply for the program using the QR code and the link which will be shared at the end of this slide. Once we have the forms, that should be we should be receiving it by the 15th of September, and those startups that meet the profile will then be they will be analyzed. And once the analyzation happens, we will be disclosing the result of which are the startups which have been selected, and they will be issued an certificate of from the IFIA-ABIPIR and the global certification this thing, where you can actually be part of this, which officially says you are being inducted into the program. And the phase six will be having the matchmaking sessions where we can have the technical committee will carry out business matchmaking with Indian startups and vice versa. And we can then see what area you need the support and get you those kind of people who will be providing those support. And then we will have the pitch session where you will be where we'll be making the formal pitch to the committee, and the mentors, the startups, and the investors can all be part of this session. So once you do all these things, is where the program gets completed. Now, what is the difference between an internationalization and an export? So there is always a confusion between internationalization and exporting. What we are currently advocating through this program is not export. What we are advocating through this program is commercialization and internationalization of the program of the startups. So the idea is basically to take your idea and see how it can be scaled in the respective markets to start with, either India or Brazil. In case of Brazilian startups, they will be looking up at India. In case of India, it would be the Brazilian market. One is that. The second is how you can explore synergies between two startups and develop the product or make it much more matured enough, much more acceptable to the worldwide audience and to the audience in both these countries. So that is going to be the second agenda of this program. And the third would be to explore joint business opportunities between both these for both these startups in the respective markets. Now, how does this differ from any cohort? This is not a cohort. This is going to be a year-long program, year on year, where startups can reach us at any point of time, and those kind of support will be extended to the startups as a continuous basis. It will not be something which is restricted only for that a particular time frame. It will be something which will be an support mechanism which can be offered all throughout the year. So that's how we are working on creating this program. And what is the basic profile of the startup? Like I had shared in the earlier part of the slide, we need a minimum phase which should be MVP has to be completed, and you should be scalable, and you should be looking for international partnerships or international markets as one of the areas that you will be looking for to expand your marketing boundaries. Now, this basically is applicable more to the Brazilian side, where we are looking up at partners who should be fluent in English, because we want people from the Brazilian side to communicate with the Indian side, and language as such should not be a barrier for people to talk to each other. And as mentors, for mentors, we really expect the knowledge of how internationalization or commercialization can happen, and how this entire program can support, how you can support the startups in each of these countries to scale up their journey. What are the advantages for the participating countries and participating startups from each of these countries? First and foremost, as I mentioned, IFIA's presence in about 120 plus countries. We will be looking forward to opening up the markets to the startups, starting now first with Brazil. Then we can expand the markets to other countries where we can scale up the startups journey. Second would be the partnership between the startups itself, which will open an opportunity to improvise the product, take it to the international market, make it more internationalized, and take it to different countries across the globe. So this will give an opportunity for the startups to really scale up their journey faster and to bring in a better product and better technology to the different markets that they cater to. So advantages for companies and investors who want to be part of this program. Now, as we see both these countries, India and Brazil has a very vibrant startup ecosystem. So likewise, investors from both these countries can look up at opportunities of investing in the startups either in India or in Brazil or in a joint ventured project which will provide them better mileage, better returns, and the value that they are looking for when they invest inside the startup. And apart from that, we can provide a good portfolio of startups and solutions which can be brought forward to this through this collaborative effort which we are trying to create out here. So the VCs by themselves will have no restrictions on looking up at different market opportunities either from India or from Brazil. So for VCs from both the sides of the market can also look up at collaborating apart from the startup and look up at investing within the startup ecosystem. So the schedule of how it is going to start. Today is the 5th of September, where the launch is happening from India and from Brazil. Post the India launch, late at night at about 10:30 p.m. is where the Brazilian side is going to launch this program. 15th September is going to be the deadline. 10th October is going to be the disclosure of the selected startups. And on 4th of October, there will be meeting with the mentors for Brazilian and Indian startups. 24th of October is going to be the demo day for 5 Brazilian startups and 5 Indian startups and 1 American startup. On 31st of October will be again a demo day where again 5 Brazilian startups, 5 Indian startups, and 1 American startup will participate. November and December will have focused on mentorship sessions. January will be the final delivery and announcement of possible partnerships or possible results that can come out of this event. So this is the schedule of the events that is going to take place starting from today. And here is where you have the application where the startups who wish to join can go with the short URL, and mentors who wish to join can use the URL which is given here and along with the QR code. And for participants in India, I will be sharing it amongst the different groups and on LinkedIn as to the links that are made available out here. Now, I think from the Brazilian side point of view, I have Dr. Marcelo who is participating from there, and I would like to hear from him some of the thoughts that he feels as to how India and Brazil and the startup ecosystem and the VC ecosystem can benefit out of this program. And I would now invite Dr. Marcelo to share his thoughts on this entire idea and why we even came up with such an idea in the first place. So, Marcelo, please go ahead and share your thoughts on how you think this entire ecosystem will benefit in India and Brazil for all the stakeholders who are participating in this.
Thanks, Anand. Congratulations for the presentation. Brilliant. And I'd like to add just one information regarding the profile of the startups. Besides, they need to have a advanced or at least middle stage of maturity, scaling, or even already on their break-even. It's most important to say that at this project, pilot project that you are going to start right now, is necessary that the solutions offered by startups must be digital solutions, not physical one. The physical solutions will be accepted when the program will start next year. But for now, because this is a pilot project, we're going to validate the methodology. We're going to make the adjustments that will be necessary because this is an innovative program. No program exists like this in the world because usually the programs of acceleration are done in cycles. In our case, will not be a cycle of acceleration, will be a continuous business matchmaking process. During all the time, our team from IFIA-ABIPIR, IFIA, Bharat will working hard to connect startups with potential investors, potential startups partners in other countries, and potential customers as well. And I'm very excited about this program because we see a lot of particularities between India and Brazil, very similar things regarding many subjects, not only geography, the extension of the country, but the technology, development, innovation. And I'm quite sure this partnership will add value to both countries in many areas because we are looking forward to connect startups, create new business, and create wealth benefits for all parts. And the most important thing, make the world a better place to live by applying science, technology, and innovation. Thanks, Anand, for this presentation.
Yes, Marcelo, it would also be good to hear from you the kind of startups that exist in Brazil and how startups in India and Brazil can actually look up at collaboration and work together, because both these countries are very strong in agrotech. Both these countries have got very good ecosystem when it comes to coming on the food products, pharmaceutical products. India is basically a big exporter of generic drugs, and a lot of medtechs are coming up here in India, and health techs are developing a lot of digital solutions. So agri-tech also, we have a lot of digital solutions that are being developed here in India, ed-tech, fintech. So what are, and biotech basically. So what are the sweet spots that you think will have a lot of opportunities to work with Brazilian startups, and how you think those sectors can really make a big impact on the Brazilian ecosystem?
Actually, the ecosystem of startups in Brazil nowadays is very diversified, but I'm quite sure the agri-tech vertical, as health tech, as fintechs, will be a great field of innovation to create partnerships, because it's most important to say, as you mentioned in your presentation, that internationalization is completely different of export. All export process is an internationalization process, but not all internationalization process is an export. Because once you create some connections, some bonds with another startup in another country, you can edge that technology in your technology. You can be a commercial representative of that startup. So there are many business model possibilities to be used, to be applied in this program. And I'm quite sure everything will be very well.
Excellent, excellent, Marcelo. So I think there will be a lot of opportunities for startups from India to work closely with Brazilian startups and see how the ideas can be brought to both these markets. Uh, on this area of funding, how do you think that Brazilian investors would look up at Indian startups and look up at opportunities that Indian startups can provide to the Brazilian investors? So any high light on that area would also help us a lot.
Yeah, would be most difficult for Indian startups to come here and get funding. Of course, it will be much difficult, much hard to do this. But with this program, when you connect an Indian startup with some Brazilian startup, it will be easier the process because will be someone closer to the investors to be talked to. What That's another difference of this program, because beside the startups talking to each other, we are going to invite potential investors, potential companies which are already using the open innovation process in their business, or they want to start the open innovation process. So the startups from India can offer the solutions for companies, for investors, and all of this process will be facilitated with the connection with the Brazilian startups because it's already inside the environment. And I think, in the other hand, the process for startups from Brazil in India will be the same, because when they want to enter in the Indian market, it will be facilitated when they will be connected with some Indian startups. It will be a win-win partnership.
Yes. I think the joint partnership is where I think the whole game will change, and investors can get a full perspective of both the startups and the product development that is happening by the startups which are collaborating with each other, and that will further improve the product, the scalability, and the funding opportunity for the startups. Yes, I think we would now like to invite the audience who are all part of this to have any questions that they would like to ask us, and we would be happy to provide the answers to the best possible extent that we can. The floor is now open for audience who can or who would like to ask any questions. Please go ahead and type it up, and we will take up your questions. And do mention your name, please.
So just remembering that we'll make available this video on the social media, on the IFIA website as well. And there's a email that people can access us. We'll make available this email as well. This IFIA that startups@gmail.com. But we're gonna share with all the audience in many channels, social media, the WhatsApp groups, etc. And we are open to, as Anand just said, we are open to solve any questions that you have. And it will be our pleasure to have startups from India, the mentors from India, the companies from India participating of this program. And remembering, once this program will be running, we are going to have the great portfolio of the innovations, and it can be shared not only to the companies, but to the governments as well.
Yes, I think there are some questions that has come. So let me just check.
Yeah, Mr. New is doing congratulations for this initiative.
Ah,
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you, Somanil Mukherjee, for this. Somanil Mukherjee represents the principal scientific advisor to the government of India, and they are directly part of the Prime Minister's office. So, thank you for all your support, and we really look forward to taking this entire initiative to the levels that we are wanting to work upon.
So I think you can finish now, and then we are going to send the link to our audience.
Sure.
About
I think there are no questions, and um, yes, if there are any, please, we have a couple of minutes that we can wait to hear from you. Ah, Rekha Patel, if a startup is not selected in the first round, how soon can they reapply to join this exciting initiative? Marcelo, would you like to answer this?
Hi, dear Reka. Just saying, as Anna mentioned in the presentation, we are going to have a guest, a special guest from the United States. That's a startup of Ms. Reka Patel. And she's asking if some startups will not be selected in the first round, if this startup will be able to participate in the future. Of course, this will be an open program. And the most important thing, just remembering what I have said minutes ago, that at the first moment, we are going to only accept the digital solutions because the logistic will be easier to connect with the startups from Brazil and United States as our guest. But next year, when the program will start, remembering this is a pilot project, the program will start. We are open to receive proposals, applications from startups from all over the world and from many verticals.
Any more questions?
I think
I think we since Mr. Somanil Mukherjee is available here, I would also like to take this opportunity that this program is currently being supported by the Brazilian Ministry of Industry and Commerce, and I think going forward, how the industries ministries from both these countries can actually join hands and support the startup ecosystem could be another area that we can really start exploring. And with that kind of a big support that we can receive from the ministries for both the countries, I think it would be an very good opportunity for startups to come together, work, and create products for both these countries and also for the world market through a collaborative effort. I think Marcelo, having been worked with the government in Brazil, can also see how we can look up at facilitating something of that kind, which can actually add value to both the countries, the economies on a bigger scale, and to the startup ecosystem. So I think, Marcelo, your closing thoughts on this entire thing, and we can call it a day.
Okay, I totally agree. This program will be a game changer. I completely agree with you because we are going to break the paradigm which says that startup can see the other startups as a competitor or even as an enemy. It's not true. A startup can be seen as the other startups as a potential partner, potential commercial partner. Because if you join two early stage startups, it can do a boost in the development of the both startups. So that's why we are trying to implement these new insights, this new vision of this startup world, and of course, to amplify the opportunities for startups in any countries. And the hypothesis that you will validate with this pilot project is the internationalization is the best path to diminish the high rate of mortality of startups around the world. We are going to help startups to diminish this rate of mortality, this high rate of mortality. And of course, when the startups succeed, they will create more employees, they will create more wealth for the countries, and the solutions, as I used to say in IFIA and ABIPIR, that's our mantra, that we want to use the science, technology, innovation to make the world a better place to live for everybody without no distinction. That's our mission, and this program is completely aligned with this mission.
Okay, thank you all, and we really look forward to having exciting partnerships and more startups who will be part of this program, the VC communities, the funding communities, all, and the people who are specializing in mergers and acquisitions. We would invite all of you to see how this idea can really be supported and be taken forward. Thank you all. Wishing you all a very happy evening and a good day to all of you in Brazil. Thank you. Obrigado.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.